To the angel of the messianic community in Ephesus, write, here is the message from the one who holds the 7 stars in his right hand and walks among the 7 gold menorahs. I know what you have been doing, how hard you have worked, how you have persevered, and how you can't stand wicked people. So you tested those who call themselves emissaries, but aren't, and you found them to be liars. You are persevering, and you have suffered for my name's sake without growing weary. But I have this against you. You have lost the love you had at first. Therefore, remember where you were before you fell. Turn from this sin and do what you used to do before. Otherwise, I will come to you and remove your menorah from its place if you don't turn from your sin. But you have this in your favor. You hate what the Nicolaitans do. I hate it too. Those who have ears, let them hear what the Spirit is saying to the messianic communities. To him winning the victory, I will give the right to eat from the tree of life, which is in God's Gan Eden. I especially like the bit at the end where it says, so you tested those who call themselves emissaries but aren't, and you found them to be liars. This was something that was around then and is still very much around now. False prophets and false teachers. What makes a false prophet? What is the definition of a false prophet and false teacher? Plain and simple. Not that they don't teach the scripture. They can still teach the scripture and be a false prophet. The Antichrist will very much come quoting scripture, but he will still be a false prophet. It's because they do not point you and direct you to be obedient to the Torah. They're teaching the word, they're teaching scripture, even pointing the way to heaven, but they're not telling you that the Torah, the commandments of Yahuwah, the mitzvot, the moedim, the feasts, are holy and eternal and to be kept by the people of Yahuwah. They're not teaching you, and this is the key. A false prophet will not teach you to keep Yahuwah Shabbat. This is the key. A false prophet will teach you not to keep Yahuwah Shabbat. I don't care who that person is. If they're not teaching you to keep Yahuwah Shabbat, that's a false prophet. They're false teachers. Because Yahuwah says in his word that the Shabbat is the sign between you and him that you are his people. And if you're not keeping Yahuwah Shabbat, you are not his people. I didn't write that. That's in the scripture. He says it's the sign. It's the mark, as I've taught in my previous series, DNA of Shabbat. The Shabbat and the Moedim, that they are also Shabbats, are the sign, the seal, the mark, the proof, the evidence that you are Yahuwah's people. And that is what Yahuwah said, that he has given to you as the seal that you are his. Friends, false prophets are teaching the world not to keep Yahuwah's Shabbat and not to keep Yahuwah's appointed times. We're living in serious times. And this is what the church of Ephesus was dealing with, or the community of Ephesus was dealing with. They tested those who call themselves emissaries. The word emissaries means one who is sent. If Yahuwah sent you, he's sending you with his message, with his commandments. Yeshua said, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. If you love me, if you claim to love me, you will keep my commandments. So how is it you're sent by Yahuwah and you don't teach his commandments? You're not sent by Yahuwah if you don't teach his commandments. You're a false prophet. You're a false teacher.